Ladies and gentlemen, traders, how you doing? Super excited to have you today. It's Tuesday, the 22nd of April, and we're going to take a look at the Lion trading system here. We are following what I think is the simplest uh, scalping system available in NinjaTrader for futures, for stocks, for crypto, for any instrument you can bring into NinjaTrader. Um, It is working on a fractal pattern, working on overbought, oversold, the science of what it means to be overbought, oversold. And we're using historical data to calculate that. And we're using good old-fashioned Fibonacci breakouts from swing points to determine our targets and our stops too. So happy to have you here today. Let's take a look. Now, we missed some really good trades yesterday. Let me see if I can bring them up. Oh, I gotta adjust my charts. I'm trading here from 8 in the morning until 11 and keeping it through those volatile times seems to be working out very well. Here was one trade in the YM that we missed yesterday but was a winner. Boy, another down day in the stocks, but we're looking for times when we hit these oversold channels. Now, these vertical gray bars, these green dots, those are our oversold indicators. What it means is historically, during this time of the day, the market, in this case the YM, moves pretty much a certain distance from the 100 moving average. So this midline here, this yellow line is 100 average. And historically, over the last 7 days, this green dot is basically 90% of the move of this time of day is above that level. 10% of the time it exceeds that level. So this is like a little, what do they call that? A probability distribution of where price is every moment of the day in relation to the 100. And when we exceed the 90% line, these green dots, we're oversold. Now, this blue dot down here, blue and some of these are yellow, but blue dot means that's the furthest we've ever exceeded that distance. That's the furthest reach we've obtained in that market during this time of the day over the last 7 days. So when we hit that level, we really know that we have had an excessive move in the market. But we're in the channel line. We're exceeding 90%. So right here, we exceeded it. Right here, we exceeded it. Wherever these gray lines disappear, that tells us we've exceeded it. The yellow dots will also start printing down here, and that confirms that we are in the channel for those times. So we're in the channel. We're looking for that to be oversold now, and we're going to be buying. So we're looking to buy on a reversion back to the 100. But we're not greedy. We're not going to go all the way to the 100, although the market can do what the market wants to do for sure. We would have gone long when these blue dots were hit right about in this area. So let's do an arrow line. Why not? So right when we hit that level, when the price exceeded that blue dot area, we would have gone long, and we only would have targeted this extension line up here, and we just ticked it. See, we just ticked this. So that was a win in the YM. And the distance here is $205 move per contract. So that was a $205 win in the YM. And that's it. We're not looking to make money on every single wiggle of the market. We're looking for high probability wins so that we can minimize our losses. We don't want to get caught in meaningless chop. Look at this market here from 8 o'clock until the open at 9:30. It was just lackluster. It didn't do anything. So the 100 moving average is the yellow line, and it just did nothing. It just went back and forth around the 100. So this was on Monday, 21st. And yeah, we could have made money if we would have traded some of these breakouts. Like we would have won here. We probably maybe would have hit this one and we broken out here. We certainly would have won if we broke out in either of these two locations. Yes, that would be winners. But we're not doing that because these are just kind of random movements. This is a high probability just chop zone. we're looking for times when we exceed those levels. And that's a decision point for us. So hope that makes sense. We are now still in sort of a pre-market wiggle. And again, yes, we would be winners had we taken some of these on the trending move upwards away from the 100. And that's available to you if you do own the extension 62 indicator. You can do whatever you like to do for sure. But one other thing I did mention is where we put our stop loss. So in this case, like at this signal, had we bought here, what is the arrow line? Control F2. So let's say that we had bought when price hit this level. So right here is probably where we broke that blue dot price. So had we bought here, the stop loss is the swing lowest point between the entry point and the blue dot. And extension 62 automatically draws that line that connects them. So the risk here is $170 in the YM. So we would have put our stop down here. So the stop would have gone right here, right at that level, right? And that would have been a winner, because eventually we do come up and we do hit the target, probably not here, but certainly here. So that would have been a winner, okay? We didn't hit our stop loss price during that move up. So that might be a valid trade. You can feel free to investigate that if you want. This would have been a winner too. So we would have gone right when price hit that blue dot level, and we would have put a stop down here, and we actually did hit our target right there. So these were winners on the way up, no doubt about it. And your testing, you might actually find a way to do that profitably too. Another winner occurred just right up here. But we're waiting for overbought, oversold. We'll see how it works out. Now, in addition to that, the Leto channels, not only does it show the overbought, oversold signal, but it does produce these histograms. Now, these are future histograms, and what it shows is that the market during these specific times of the day, down here are the times, it's either tends to be above the moving average, the 100 line, or below the moving average, which is these magenta colors. Green means that typically the market has been above the MA between 9:20 and 9:30, and typically after that it's below the MA. So we get these histograms, and you can basically, as many as you can fit on a chart, that's what you're looking at. So this market, the YM, has just been bearish. It's been bearish for the last couple of days, and that's what this is showing us. So it basically tells us a historical trend. And that's what we call our tendency histogram. So we can determine or get an idea of what the market does during each time of the day. So it is interesting, right here when we're at about 10:40, no, I'm sorry, no, 10:20, right here at this point, right here at this time, right, about 10:20, we see a reversal. The market has tended to go down, down, down into that point, but it pushes up toward the 100. And that's what this is telling us. So that's an interesting sign that the sellers might be in charge. They might do some wiggling here and here, but their lowest point, the furthest they get from the market, has been down at the 10:20 time frame, and it pushes back up to the 100. Now, of course, the 100 by this time of day is trending downwards, so it is rushing toward the price of the market. So this move might not be as pronounced as it is here, because the 100 period has moved down to meet it. So that's something that we do need to be careful of. Now, what's interesting to me, though, is if this market continues to go up, and let's say it hits our overbought level up here, we still might see some tendency to go downward. So it's a divergence. You're up on overbought, but the tendency shows historically this has been a down market during this time of day. So that's really, really interesting, that conflict. We're overbought and we're tending to go down, or we're expected to go down. That's a good time to really look at shorting that market. If you're down here during this time of the day, you don't want to go short at all. Shorts, you're oversold already, and the tendency is to go even lower. You don't want to be well, I mean, the tendency is to go down, but if you're oversold already, that doesn't really mean much. So you don't want to go short. You're kind of at the extension of the move. Um, and really, if you're down here already and the tendency is down, you don't want to be a buyer necessarily because this is just doing what the market likes to do. It tends to be down here at the oversold region. And you know, you got to be cautious to be a buyer as well. Now, you only want to follow the breakouts of the signals, and you want to use stops, of course. So the breakout of the lion system will help guide you through that. So if we do hit the overbought level here, I'm sure we'll get some more extension 62 signals in the meantime. But right now, the shorting price would be down here. We wouldn't really want to do that's our entry price. So if the market goes up into overbought, that's when our first condition is met. And then we look to short when it breaks through that level. Now, there probably will be another, if the market does move up here, you'll probably get another one of these magenta colored extension 62 entry points up here. That's great. You know, you get closer, you get higher, higher, higher. You want to go short at the highest dot possible, highest price possible. All right, so let's take a look at, I've got the Russell here, but I might switch that chart to, we look at ags, we'll look at livestock. I like to look at the live cattle. And that's definitely a possibility. Other markets can be brought in for sure. So, all right, where are we today here with the NASDAQ, a micro NASDAQ? Let's see if there are any signals yesterday while we're waiting for something to happen. So, again, in the morning it was lackluster. Nothing hit our overbought, oversold levels. Tendency histogram, you see the tendency back here with green, green, green. So you might have considered going long on a breakout of this level, and you would have been a winner had you done that. You would have hit this level. You actually would have hit, if you went long here at this breakout, you would have hit. So the market did move up into there, and our tendency histogram shows that we tended to be above the MA at that time of day. So that's interesting. Here's a loss. Here is a loss in the NASDAQ. So if we would have gone long, well, actually, no, I can't say that because we never hit our oversold level. We were just above it. We didn't hit it. Now, we did hit it here. Now, that's the first condition for our entry. So we would have ignored this entry. This isn't a valid entry at all, but this one is a valid. Now we've triggered our oversold level. We're looking for a bounce back up into the 100, but we're also just looking to hit our target, which is right here, and that's exactly what we did. So our stop would have been down here at this level. Let me draw them with our line. So our stops would have been down here, but we actually didn't go long until this point in time. That's when we went long. We hit that dot, and in a few minutes or 2 minutes or so, we hit our target. And in the micro NASDAQ, that was good for $39.50, $395 if you're trading a full-size NASDAQ contract. So that was a good winner. So that was a good day yesterday. I wasn't trading though. I wasn't around. Let's go ahead and pull this up into today's action. We're looking for first to go overbought or oversold. First to go overbought, oversold. What is the micro gold? Oh, look at that. I missed when I was talking. All right. Well, I don't like to chase the market. So this, as you can see here, we were oversold, deeply oversold, oversold. The gold likes to move early before the open of the equities. Well, oversold, we would have gone long right here. Now, the risk on this trade is 170 bucks on the micro gold. It's pretty significant. Full-size $1,700 risk on a full-size gold contract. So That might be a little bit too beefy for you, not a problem. Skip it. Don't trade it if it's too big. Our suggested stop is 170 bucks away. Our target is up here. Now our target, when it's above the 100 moving average, I like to use the 100 as basically the target. Looks like we might go that direction. So the target on this trade could be brought down to the 100 MA without any kind of, it is what it is. I mean, the 100 is usually a very respected level. But the market will do what the market wants to do. Market could travel upwards for decades to come. We don't know. But so we're just going to take we're swinging for singles. We're going to drive in home runs very rarely, but we're swinging for singles. And singles moves runners on board. So if you know baseball, that's what I'm talking about. Swinging for singles. Singles are a good way to win baseball games. Okay, let's see now. Nat gas. I like to follow nat gas. Not too much going on. Let's take a look at yesterday. This is Monday's action. I do show the date and the day of the week and the date down here in the bottom left corner if you do want to know. Not too much. We hit here. Tendency histogram is strongly downward. You can see the red in the background there. We might have taken this one and we maybe would have gotten out, perhaps. That's a risky one. If not, it did go to the stop. The stop is again down here at this magenta dot. Now this is interesting. If you were still trading this, we went oversold here, so we're looking to go on a buy, probably a buy dot right here. Right? So right here, let's say we get filled right there on that situation. Our stop is down here. The risk there is 220 bucks. This is a full-size nat gas contract, so this is the stop. And we do take a little bit of heat, but eventually we hit our target, which is either one of these. So we do hit our target there. Let's say if we went from here, this is the actual target line right there. It's a $130 scalp in nat gas. So that would have been a winner. Now, the red background is 11 o'clock and onward. So again, I'm only trading here from 8 till 11. So that trade would have been in the off hours. I might have not taken it. So something to think about. So there's other signals. Again, you could have gone short at this pink dot. Now this is not a lion trade. We're just talking about lion trades today. But going short on a breakdown here, we are in a downtrend. So if you're a trend trader and you're looking to go with the trend, extension 62 can also give you these signals. All these would have been winners if your stop was far enough away, obviously. So that's a good thing. In a fast-moving market that's trending strongly, that is relatively safe to trade, to trade. You got to keep your stops. Just got to keep your stops. Manage your stops accordingly. Let's take a look at the crude oil. Take a look at yesterday's action. I think move this up to today's. Nat gas isn't showing too much today. We're not overbought or oversold. So let's go back to crude. Again, we're just trading from 8 until 11. Now, our first oversold level was right here. Now that's not a qualified extension 62 dot, but man, that would have been a great place to trade it. Now, the reason why it's not a qualified dot is because there's so much volatility in here. These are big moves down here. There is a filter in extension 62 that turns off dots on volatility moves. And that's what happened here. This dot failed because the volatility was very high before it, and it was very small after it. So it was an expectation of increased volatility that we didn't go in. But that would have been a good trade right here. Let me show you that quickly. the volatility filter in extension 62. And it is right here, minimum ATR to Fib A, Fibonacci level A. That's what we're dealing with here is Fibonacci level A, which is this first level that is calculated by extension 62. So the minimum ATR to Fib A is 1. So that's telling me that what it is telling us is that this distance from this high, from here down to here, needs to be at least 1 ATR of the last, I think it's 14 bars. So if that's a small distance compared to the last 14 bars, it ignores that. So if this distance is big enough, then it'll start printing a dot up here. And that's what we're looking to. So this blue dot was printed because this move was so big compared to the last 14 bars. That's why it printed that. So let's say we want to loosen up that filter a little bit. I'm going to go to half of an ATR. So let's go down here and set this to 0.5. And we'll see that dot come in, I'm sure. Oh, maybe not. Let's go a little bit lower. Hey. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what it is? It's the significance. It's not the ATR per se, but it is the significance. So swing points here have a significant number, and that's the number of bars that it exceeds before and after it. So I've got 4. Let's go to 3. Nope, that's the one I want. I want this one, significance. Go to 3. And if I do that, then we get a bar. So 1, 2, 3. So these 3 bars are below that high. 1, 2, 3. These 3 bars are below that high. That makes it a valid entry dot. So the risk here would have been only 22 bucks in the micro crude, and it certainly would have been a winner. Okay, that was a lot of information. All right. I know it could be information overload, and I'm trying to reduce it for us. Giving you some ideas on how you might be able to tweak the settings in order to get those dots to print. Because if you get those dots to print, then you do have your targets automatically drawn. I'm going to show you a little secret, though. This is not magic that we draw these levels. It's a Fibonacci calculation. Let's take a level, and I'll show you how it's calculated. So this magenta dot down here is got a 62 extension line down here. That level is tied to that dot, right? Well, how did I get this distance? Just to give you a quick little insight. What we do is we do extensions from basically the blue line that's drawn, the stop loss line. Go from there down to there, and you'll see 61.8 is right at that level. So that's how I'm getting it. So I'm just doing a distance from here to here. I'm not going to expect it to move the full distance. 100% move is down here. Right? This is the 100% line right here. So I'm not shooting for 100% move. But whatever this distance is from here to here, I'm not expecting it to go that same distance down, and it didn't. See how it failed? I'm only looking for a simple 61.8% move. And look at that, it hit it right there. So it's a sign of a weakening move, and it's a higher probability that we'll hit that level. And that's how that number is. Okay. Okay, let's clean up that chart. We're going to wait for an entry here. We haven't hit overbought, oversold on anything yet, so Hmm. Give me a second here, guys. Gotta do a quick email check. Be with you in a momentito. All right. And have a little sip of my coffee, and then I'll be ready to rock and roll. It's 9:23 in the morning. 9:23 a.m. Oh, we didn't even look at the Bitcoin future. So I'm following the MBT here. I don't I don't really follow it that much, but I'll be honest with you. But um, could produce some signals. We are overbought in it right now. We've exceeded that high, and we start printing these yellow dots when we do that. So just so you're aware of that. Take a look at what happened yesterday. Well, we had a good trade there. Doing right off the bat. We had a good trade here. So we had two good trades, three good trades. So we have exceeded we were in overbought here. We would go short when price hit that level. So control F2. That is the dot we're looking at. And it got hit right about here, let's say. And its target was down here. And that's where we hit our target. So we did have a winner there. We went oversold. Now that would have been nice if you sold it in that area and held it to the oversold area. You have a much bigger move. But again, we're just hitting singles. This is a grand slam move from overbought to oversold. Let's go, and the Lion system again is just a simple, we're oversold down here. We're looking to buy on a breakout above that blue dot. Boom and boom. Very simple, short winner. Stop would have been down here. We never even came close to it. We hit our target right away, right around the 100 MA. And price went up. I'm happy for it. It did whatever it's supposed to do. And we do now go into the overbought area up here. You see that? These dots start printing, yellow dots start printing, the gray lines go away. And that now the first signal around that area is right here. And we go short right here. We put our stop at that swing high where the blue line is printing. And that's our target. And we hit our target right away. So a winner there. Clear. I think it's very clear entry signal. If you have any questions about that, certainly let me know. Because I want to make things clear, crystal clear. This is the spot market in the BTC USD because I'm on the crypto feed in NinjaTrader. If you don't know that, there is a Coinbase crypto data feed in NinjaTrader. That's what this is on. All right. Alrighty, Rudy. Hmm. Alrighty, Rudy. Now, not every trade's going to be a winner. Wish I could tell you otherwise. Not even. Okay, this is the live cattle market. The LE. I like to watch live cattle. I know. It's crazy. Not many people do watch it. But here is a trade right in the morning. Live cattle does usually have a very large move in the morning when it opens at 9:30. And then go short here, and we're out very quickly. Now that's a very tight thing. I probably would have held on a little bit, maybe go to the midline. So that's a nice little win. We don't really see overbought, oversold at all during that other time of the session here. And, oh, that must have been, when was this? That's Monday. Oh, yeah, Monday. Confused. Why is this printing here? This is the end of the day. This is from 1:15 onward. 120-ish, 116. Let me see why there are two here. I don't know. That's very odd that this would not be colored. But we're looking for, here's April 22nd and 9:40. So the market tends to open up high. You can see our tendency shows that at 9:30, which is right here, oh, right around here, this green line, this solid green histobar, we tend to be above the market. Overbought is going to be up here. Oversold is going to be down here. This is the daily YM. Interesting. We really had a good push down. Now things are bouncing back a little bit. Are we getting set up for another down day? I don't know. I do not know. So some of you might wonder, the risk is 100% and the target is 62% of the move. What do I mean by that? So the reward to risk is 62 to 100 or 6 to 10, right? Let me give you an example. So if we were to have gone short right here, so at that level, if we would have gone short right here, give us a bigger view of this. If we would have gone short right here, our stop would have been up here. So our stop distance is from this blue dot down to here, and we got stopped out. So this distance is, let's say right there. So this distance is 15 ticks. Okay. Our target was less than that. Our target was 10 ticks. So our target is 2/3 of 15. So we risked 15 to make 10. That's a reward to risk of, 0.6. So 6 to 10 or 66 to 10. 2/3, 2 reward to 3 risk. Let's just put it that way. And that's scalping. That's just scalping. Scalping is you're going to have a larger risk than your target because you're expecting to win more often than you lose. So it's very simple. If you win 3 out of 2 trades, you're at break even with this scalping method. Now the idea is if you win 3 out of, not 3, if you win 3 out of 6, 50% of the time you're making money. So you don't need to win that often in order to make money. If you win 2 out of 5, then you're basically at break even. So 40% win and you're break even. You just need to get a little bit above that and you're making money. So 9:30, the markets have opened while I was talking. So let's take a look here. Nothing overbought, oversold yet. Again, we got good distance to move before we see any of that. Where did we open? Here we go. Live cattle, doing what live cattle does. Nat gas. Crude. NASDAQ. Gold. Where's gold at? Well, we hit our target though. We did hit our target. So again, we're oversold. I would have taken the long right here. And we did hit our target right there. So in gold, target was $102 in the micro gold. And our stop was down here, 474. So we never even came close to our stop, but target was achieved right there, roughly 111 ticks. So we will wait until we see a overbought, oversold. That's what we're waiting for. All right, well, live cattle almost got overbought. Not done yet. We are not done yet, so let's see how that's going. Where's the YM? Not doing too much, really. All right, so far a whole bunch of nothing. Whole bunch of nothing. Now you might wonder, there is these chunks of time here where the levels expand and contract. So these are half-hour spaces of time. So this is from 8:30 till 9 o'clock. Leto channels lets you divide the day into any number of these types of chunks, these periods. So this is based on a 30-minute division. So from 9:30, we see volatility greatly expand, and this is where the level is. Before 9:30, the level is down here. After 9:30, the level is up here. We can change that very simply. Leto channels has a setting for that. And that is time slice. Time slice, number of minutes in each time slice. Let's say if we went down to 10 minutes in each time slice. You'll see how this now becomes a lot more choppy because we're in 10-minute segments. You might want to trade that. That's up to you. It gives you a little bit more clarity, but it could be a little more hectic. We'll leave it on that. We'll see what happens. Now, this is the Russell micro. And then Q isn't doing much. The Russell is interesting, that move. YM is not doing much at all. Nat gas. BC is moving toward oversold. It's moving toward oversold. Oh, let me connect with, let's see if I can connect with our Schwab data feed. Is not online right now. Otherwise, I would look. I've got two stocks open here. This is Meta, and take a look at Tesla. Same lion configuration, two indicators. Let's take a look at some old data here. This is Monday's action on Tesla. We didn't really hit oversold on anything, so that didn't have anything really. All right, and really nothing hit oversold on Meta either. Oh, really nothing going on there. All right, gold. We are oversold right now. We're going to look for a extension 62 dot to print. That's our goal. That is our next step. First step, get overbought, oversold. First step. Second step is to wait for a extension 62 dot to print somewhere in this area. Now, the Lion system does not want you to go buying above the 100. The entry dot needs to be below the 100 in order for it to be valid, and the further away it is from the 100, the better. Like this one was pretty good. We were far away when we went long here, and that's what we want. We want to be far away from the 100. I wouldn't have been a buyer here even if this was a valid setup, which it wasn't. I wouldn't be a buyer here because we're so close to the 100. We're at the 100. 100 is one of the resistance targets. So you don't want to be buying at the 100. And there's nothing magical about the 100, guys. So I've been around enough to know that the market probably doesn't care about that. This is just what do they call this? Uh, Guideposts, I guess. I don't know. Rubrics, is that what it's called? I have to look up that word before I start throwing it around. Rubric. But it's points at which you make decisions and rules to live by. Maybe that's it. Certain rules to live by. And just don't buy near the 100. Helps filter out bad trades, I feel. Sometimes the market hits the 100 and bounces off it, and other times it shoots right through it. And that'll always happen. Wow, NASDAQ is just doing nothing. Russell is on its way to overbought, but it could just turn around too. We don't know. YM is waking up to a northern movement here. I drew this retracement fib on this move here. So we're coming back up to the 50% line, this gray line. We did almost came to the 75% retracement. That's a 75% to the 25%, 50% line here. So let's just move this out a little bit. So that's our levels, roughly. So we are coming up to the 50. Now that's interesting. So this 50 line, that's what this gray line is. I've got it published on several charts. So you can see that's where the gray line is. And if you shrink this down, you'll see the 75% line here and the 25% line above it. It's going to be interesting. Now, fascinating, the 50 line is right at an overbought level. That could be significant. I'm going to do some experimenting on buying. Now, this is not the Lion system, but at the open, if we see the range of the market, between and over extension dot above it, extension dot below it, this could be a channel breakout, an opening range breakout system that works. Don't know. I'll take a look. But had we bought it here, we would have exited here for a nice little profit, right? $345 move in the YM. All right, the Russell is going up. NASDAQ might be heading up. Gold is just going to the floor here. Gold is on the way down aggressively. On its way down. And you know what? We're going to let it go down. Let it do what it wants to do. YM is coming back up to the 50% line, the 50-yard line. Nat gas is flatlined. So live cattle, market tends to open above the 100, and it definitely did that today. That's what this green histogram shows us. So no new news there. Just to take, I don't know. I'm crazy. Let's try this. I go and just want to see where the live cattle is on a daily basis. Pardon me a moment. I need to turn off So, yeah, live cattle has been on a little bit of an uptrend lately, but we did see a bounce off of some lot of supply up here, coming close to a triple top. But that's where we're at with live cattle. Take a look also at the micro NASDAQ. How did that fare? Going to turn off those diamonds so we don't globalize those diamonds. Kind of get in the way on bigger charts. Leto channels, you can globalize the markers that show when we're overbought, oversold. I'm going to turn that off, and that cleans up the chart. So that's interesting. Let's do our retracement. All right, well, that one only came down to the 50 line. See these diamonds here? Those diamonds are from the Leto channels, and they'll print when we go into the overbought, oversold locations. There. So here's a diamond. It just shows that we went into oversold, and it starts with the first band of the edge, and it ends with the lowest low of the move, and then we start going up. So here's another set of diamonds. We entered it here, and right now the lowest low is right around there. So those will get published to other charts if you do have them set to globalize. So you can kind of see if we've hit overbought, oversold. Well, we have, I don't think that'll print a extension 62 dot because it's not a significant number swing, not a significant swing. It was just too rapid up and down. Uh, extension, yeah, we have a 4 significance here. That means 4 bars before it, 1, 2, 3, 4, too high. So this isn't going to be a swing point. We'll have to think about it though. It could be a good entry point. It could. This is a discretionary call. It's just uh, if we do an extension off of here to this swing high, that's where the target would be, is right up there at the 68 line, right? So it might be worth thinking about. That's the target. So if we do go long at this breakout, our target is here. It's a $90 move. The risk is 150 roughly. 150 to get 90 could work. All you need is 2 of those, and you're in profit. Take off that fib. We don't need it anymore. YM has come back to the 50 line. YM is back to the 50. We have another move up in live cattle. Getting close to overbought. That would interest us. MCL is doing nothing. Nat gas doing nothing. Micro Bitcoin continues to go north. So here was a losing trade, got to admit it. Good overbought area, go short here, immediately reversed out of it, so we took our loss. Okay. If you have any questions about the setups or life in general, feel free to post your comment, and we'd love to have you like this video and subscribe to my channel. That would be great. Well, now, looky here. Hit our 50 line. We also hit overbought. Excuse me. Now we're just waiting for an extension 62 dot to come in. Y2K is still going up. Y2K. M2K. Yeah, you remember Y2K, year 2000? This is M2K, Micro Russell. NASDAQ moving up. Let's do this. Let's go below that guy. Okay, it is on all charts, so. Okay, there it is. This is the 50 line in the NASDAQ, so it's a little bit below current market. Oh, okay. Well, look at that, guys. Buying here, and our target is right up there. So let's see if we hit our $90 move. We're shooting for an 89 tick move. Micro gold. Now I will trail my stop to break even once the market closes a bar fully above the entry level. So if our entry level is there, market hasn't closed a full bar above it yet, we're still at it. So our risk is right down here. That's where our stop should be, is right down here. You know what? I should have bought on the retrace. Sometimes I'll do that. Okay, well, we might be going to target. Or we might be going to stop. All right, we still haven't had a bar fully above the entry price. So our stop is still down here. Again, we would have risked, our risk would have been down to here of $152. So we're still risking 152. Excuse me. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Now we're getting close to, okay, so we just hit one bar is completely above the stop. So your stop should be break even now. So it just did not hit it. I think our low was right around this green dot. So your stop should be break even on micro gold. I've just drawn a little arrow where that stop should be. It should be right at the entry point, which is that blue line. So we're in a risk-free trade here. We're either going to hit target or hit our stop in micro gold, micro NASDAQ, micro Russell. All right, well, we haven't gotten our sell signal yet, although that would have been a good one. All right, live cattle is overbought, so we're looking for a dot, extension dot, and there it is. I would go short at that price. If we get back down to here, you're going short. That gas isn't doing too much. Let's get back to our gold trade. There it is. All right, well, we might have, a little shy of it right now. Gold is fighting its way back. I don't know. We ran into some overhead resistance on gold. Downward bar. You might want to jump out if you're happy with a little bit of profit. I think we missed it by 2 or 3 ticks in the high. See that? Yeah, you missed our target. That's all right. This is how it goes. This is the way cookies crumble. Technically, I'm still had my stop down at the bottom blue line. See where we're at on other markets. YM. If this is a extension dot down here, I would consider it. I would consider going short. Live cattle still up here. Our extension dots are printing. Overbought. Crude doing nothing. Nat gas doing nothing. All right, one more push up there, micro gold. Get us out. If this bar closes up, I would move my stop to the bottom of our swing here. Because we might be at a decision point in gold right now. We can't push the new high there by 2 ticks. I think I want to be in it. Somebody has decided that the 34.44 level is just too much. Wow, $3,400 ounce of gold. That doesn't. Okay, so I would move my stop here, guys. So we're in profit a little bit. Stop is, right around the 34, 36 and a half level-ish. Let's see what happens. Well, we're moving down. I get stopped out. Let us see how it goes. All right, that's about the only game in town. We do have the MT, no, what was it? The YM possible setup here. We'll see. Possible. Gold is still finding out what it's going to do with its life. We're in between stop and target in gold. All right, well, the stop has got us at least sealed in for 21 ticks. So $21 in micro gold, $210 in the full gold contract. And look at that, gold is just fighting us. We might settle with 21 ticks. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's all we got. That's just the way it goes. Well, we're profitable, okay? That's the important part. 21 ticks in profit. We did get stopped out right here. If you moved your stop, I mean, you might have kept it all the way down at the bottom. You might be all the way down at the low at the 34.20. You might still be at entry price. Whatever you got, I hope you're doing the best. But we did miss our target by 1 or 2 or 3 ticks there. All right, we hit our entry price. If you missed the run up in gold, I wouldn't enter long here. It just looks a little too toppy to me. So if you're thinking now that we're back at entry price, which could be a good support level now, it was resistance, but it could be, if it is a good support level, we should see a bounce upward, right? If we just see red, 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 I wouldn't go long. If we see a good like key reversal bar, that might be something to take interest in. Re-enter. We had one of those occur earlier in the day. Well, here's one. So yeah, Mexican gold. So if we missed this entry here, it didn't quite hit target. It came down to entry point. Let's do another. Let's do this. Let's move this. So this is the entry line. You can see we would have gone long right here. Right? A break above it. Now, if you missed that entry point, look at that. We came back down to that and we had a good move up. And that kind of reaction, a wick below it and then a move up, is something I would have gone long on. You know, we're not seeing that here at all. It has just been down, down, down. Now I need to see this thing close up probably above the entry at least. I might not even do that because we've seen just so much pressure downwards here, but that's your call. You know, this guy, very clean. We came down to it and we bounced off it immediately. It was rejected. This guy went down south a little bit. Oh, look at that, having a little action. And it just went a little too deep for me. But look at that, we did hit target. 10 o'clock. We must have some news at 10. I didn't look at our news schedule. Well, target actually was not there. It was target. Well, it was right above that. It was about the blue dot level. And we did hit that, so there must be some news at 10. All right, what else is going on in this crazy world? Okay, live cattle. Technically, that could be a good setup dot, right? Good short spot. I'd like to see it put another level in, you know, up in this area, but right now this is our short for live cattle. Has me a little concerned because this is an area that was resistance, becomes support now, so you don't want to be selling into support. But we'll think about it. All right, M2K doing what it's doing. YM fighting back up to the 50% retrace level. Again, this is the fight back up. So 50% of this move, we come back down to it. That's interesting to me. Crude, is this awake? I'm not even sure. Is anyone trading crude here? I don't know. And then we got the natural gas. Tuesdays are sleepy in the energies. YM is pushing higher. technically speaking, this is our sell level. We had overbought here, and the only extension dot is there. This market could certainly move. I tell you though, if it does move south from here, it'll be a far target. It'll be a far target. So your target would be down here. The target 61 is in this area, but you do have to mind the 100. That's how I would do it. I would get out at the 100. So it's a reduced reward. It's reduced. The reward is only to about a 30% of your risk. It's a little sharp for me. I'm gonna wait for a better signal on that one. So officially right now we're sitting on a 21 tick profit in trading this morning. Unless you guys held out and you settled for the full range here, which was I think 90. I think we're looking at 90. Yeah, the 94 target. Gold just did what gold does. How far was our retracement in gold? Look at that, guys, right to the 50. Gold retraced 50% of its move and then launched. Food for thought. The magic of Fibonacci. Okay. Excuse me. This is probably going to be a fib dot here. I'm going to move it preemptively up to that level. So this would be a short. That would be a short. Let's make it magenta. Magenta. Where are you hiding, magenta? How about deep pinks? All right, deep pink line. It's preemptive short, guys. I'm thinking that we're going to get a magenta colored extension dot here. Tendency is up, 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 but it does die out and it comes back to the 100 line right about the 11:15, 11:20 time. So if that tendency does hold true, I say we take advantage of it. Small risk. $110 risk, 11 ticks. What is YM doing? Battling at that 50% retrace. Gold went to the 100. See, we hit our 100 line. That would have been our second target. Not looking at the equities right now. All right, we should get a extension dot any minute here. Thinking. Anyone thinking? Who's thinking out here? Think. All right, so there is our long-awaited extension dot. We would go short right here. Rude, going to sleep on me. Rude, don't be crude. Yeah, all of these, this is no man's land. Nobody wants to be trading here, guys. That's my opinion. Crude is going a little north. Interesting tendency. So the tendency, you can see the histogram has been down, 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 and that's exactly how the market played out today. Here this morning it was supposed to be up, but it was down. So it was, tendencies are not authoritative truth. Here's another example. We went the opposite. So we went supposed to be down. I don't know if you can see that magenta colored histo, but we were up. It shot down a little bit later. And now crude is just going to wobble around the 100. So crude is not going to be traded today. Nat gas like to take a nosedive starting about now. If you're a gutsy trader, maybe this is not a lion trade, but you could go short right here and target that level as an expectation of the downward move, but you're looking at a risk of 210. All right, well, micro Nasdaq is fighting against its tendency. It's reeling up, up, up. Crude, the YM is going up. Could be overbought soon. I think I might close down the room at 10:30 today. So we got 20 minutes. We're back down to where we exited. So this was the entry price right down here. Look at that. Gold respected that 100 MA, just hit it and fell off. Market doesn't respect anything. It respects buyers and sellers. Mark Douglas taught me that. Mark Douglas. All right, guys, gals, cattle is making its move here. Cattle is dancing. So tendency has been up. So it doesn't have me super excited as a short possibility. Not overly excited, but I think it'll be tradable. The risk is $150 risk. Anything else going on? No, those are dead. That's getting there, but not quite. Gold is going a little chaotic. All right, this is our live cattle market. Well, we might be short. We're short. We are short here. So we're filled on that. Our stop is going to be up high. Buy stop there. And I'm going to put a buy limit down here for now. Let's see where we should have our extension line print any second. And look, there it is. So we've got our target, we got our stop, we are short in the LE June contract. Let us see how that plays out. We're targeting a $80 profit in live cattle. If you're courageous, you can consider going down to this level at the 100. It's a big move though. That's a $340 target. I'm just short one contract in live cattle. I'm going to get out at 80. Now, what's interesting too is there's a lot of buying that occurred. So a lot of demand at this level. You can see demand. People demanded that and bought it. So our $80 target makes sense. Oh, we almost got our target. One more little flick. And we should be out. Okay, guys, we got a winner. All right, let's mark this as a W. There's the winner. $80 to the good, $80. That's 80. I think it's 80. It's just, there we go, 80. Excuse me. There we go. All right, we got an $80 win in live cattle. What do we get? A win in gold, $21 on micro contract. We'll take that, right? If you did hold on to it, congratulations again. That's about a $90 move, $88, something like that. Let me check one thing. Let me check. Yeah, all right. So this little box up here, I don't know if you've seen it, the green box right now, that auto summarizes my rulers. So the rulers, whenever I draw a ruler and the ruler line is green in color, that's a winner. And it will put it up here, the win. And it shows the 21 ticks wins, 21 tick P&L here. It tells us how many minutes per trade. So this is a 15-minute trade. That's an average number, so if there's multiple trades, it'll average that. Median ticks per trade, so if there's multiple trades, it'll find the median. And it goes average, so a lot of data in there. Win-loss percent, things like that. One of my little ticks, tools of the trade. What's really good about that is if you want to do bar browsing, uh, you just draw a bunch of rulers on a chart, and it'll automatically summarize them all. Like let's say, for instance, we did go long here, and we got our target achieved here, right? We actually got long right there on the break. So now it shows 2 wins because both of these rulers are green. We have 129 ticks of profit, average, median. Uh, median is a little misleading if you only have two. If you have three, there is a median number you can get. Let's do another one. So again, that is auto-summarize P&L. That would have been a good trade, but we didn't really get our extension dot. Did not get it. All right. So we did miss that. That would have been a really good trade. I was sleeping during that one. I think I was talking. Gabbing it up. All right, now we're getting interesting. We're going to get an extension dot down here any second. Once this bar closes, we're going to get a dot. Oh, yes, we'll get a dot right there. Live cattle. Look at that, huh? My prognosticator. Live cattle found there's demand at this time of day, and there's demand right now. It moved back up a little. Definitely hit our target and said, whoa, Nelly, that's enough. We could push lower, not saying it won't. Market could do what the market wants to do, but we measured it pretty well with that one. Okay, YM, we got our dot in the YM, so I would be short here. Looking at the other markets, not much going on. There's gold, who's just been in the range here. Let's take a look at the energies, which are sleepy. Live cattle, maybe it'll push lower. I don't know. Maybe it'll go up. Who knows? I'm happy to have gotten my $80 hit. So I was thinking of going and holding on to this trade all the way down to the 100, which is our next target. But I was also saying to myself, well, once I hit the extension level, I'll just move my stop to break even. That would have been a mistake. We would have probably gotten stopped out at break even. So what I did instead is I hit a single. I got $80 single. Maybe tomorrow I'll trade 2 contracts. Maybe tomorrow I'll trade 10 contracts and turn that into some real money. But I think the winning combination is higher number of contracts, not larger distances. I'd love to hold it on for 100-point gain or 200-point gain or whatever, but that doesn't work sometimes. All right, well, it's going lower. I just had a little breather. Yeah, it's not going lower yet. It's still chopping around here. Well, the equity markets are back northward. Yeah, it's got a lot of way to claw back. I mean, it did its, I wonder if that's a 61% retracement. Could the markets be that technical? Let's see here. I add a level. Let's add 61.8, not 68.1. Let's make this pretty deep pink color. So there was 61.8. Well, I went past it. So Fibonacci was wrong. I get it. It's a fascinating number sequence, Fib sequence. I'm not casting shade on Fibonacci. Guys, I think we're coming near the end. We got our money. You got the money, honey. I've got the time. Well, there we go. Live cattle did another little jump downward. And I'm happy for it. I'm very happy for it. The retracement, back into the entry dot. We went down here to target, we retraced back up, and then we put in a good topping pattern, right? We got a good wick where it rejected that price, and then we had a confirmation candle going downward. Not a bad idea to go short. Small number of contracts, risk of very small. Honestly, my risk on that would have been if I'd entered here, I might have gone up to here. So 7 tick risk. I don't know. But that's not a lion trade. A lion trade is the first dot around the overbought oversold level. Really, this was the one, that was the key. It's the highest price. You want to sell at high prices. You don't want to sell lower prices. And that's what we're shooting for. Perfect execution of the lion trade, guys. Perfect. Perfecto. Oh, that's a big move in the YM. Yeah, I think I'm done for the day. So we should have gotten $100 here, $20 here, so $120 on the micros. Now, if you trade full, that's different. And then, what was the other one? Live cattle. Following my the stake market here, STEAK. We got $80, so we're up $200 today. Less commissions and fees, but not too shabby. Not too shabby. Shabbiness is not present today. We did pretty good. All right, guys and gals, ladies and germs, and oh boy, that's my dad saying. Sorry. Your dad ever say ladies and germs? Thanks again for joining me. This has been the Lion Method. I'm Ben Leto, the developer of the Lion Method. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, or contemplations, please leave them below or email me or visit my store. Why don't you? store.spgtradingcorp.com. And I would be happy to hear from you. Like, comment, and subscribe. All right, y'all. Have a good day. Be blessed. God loves you. And I'm pretty happy that